You talked about U.S. failures during the pandemic, U.S. policy failure. The WHO played a prominent role in that, giving bad information and so forth, and arguably terrible response. Right now, I was just looking, Dr. Tedros is arguing for a pandemic treaty, which a lot of people, I think, are convincingly arguing would reduce the sovereignty. And it's another thing you talked about of many nations just simply by the WHO declaring a emergency, and everyone has to go along with it. If you could speak to that as we finish up.
Well, all I can say is, so in Florida, we've already passed legislation nullifying any impact of that WHO treaty. It's a lockdown treaty on the state of Florida. We will not recognize it. We will not abide by it. As president, all I can say for people that are trying to do an international lockdown treaty is go ahead, make my day. I will take that treaty and I will throw that in the trash can where it belongs. Don't worry about that. And first of all, it's a sovereignty issue first and foremost. Why would we give up sovereignty? Of course, we're not going to do that. But then you think about, the WHO of all agencies. I mean, you've got to be kidding me with some of this stuff. How bad were they during COVID? How dismissive were they of people's individual rights and freedoms and aspirations? And the collateral damage that was done during COVID. And look, those first, few weeks were some bad decisions by Western governments. But what really I think is jarring is after 6-8 weeks, when Florida had all the kids in school, when we do that and everyone was saying life goes on, they still clung to this nonsense, even though the data did not support it whatsoever. So that tells me that they were more interested in controlling behavior than they were about stopping a particular virus. And so if you give these people an inch, they will take a mile. So we will absolutely nix that treaty, but we're going to do a lot more than that. I'm bringing a reckoning to the CDC, the NIH, the FDA. We're going to clean house in these agencies. They've been harmful. And because as it stands now, one of the reasons why our country's weaker is because of how we responded by COVID, the $6 trillion in extra debt that was added to really no avail, and all that stuff. So part of it is no one's been held accountable. These people will do it again if they're given the opportunity. So we need to bring in accountability, swift and severe, so that this never happens to our country ever again.